This is the breakfast that I'm at now. So that's that. And then crispy bacon and sausage. That is usually pretty good. And then all the carb heavy stuff. More carb heavy stuff. Nuts, seeds, oats, pastries. And we got this. Some fruits over there, and then the juices. That was the breakfast, and there's coffee also back there. I'm having my tea, but the reason I'm telling you this, and this is the fitness center where I'm staying. I'm about to go in there, or there's a Planet Fitness across the street. The reason I wanted to show you that breakfast that looked really yummy was that sometimes when you try to make a nutritional change, like a dietary change, especially if it's going to match a push to have a healthy lifestyle, there's going to be some pushback from your gut. The problem with cutting your food, whether it's a volume change, dietary restriction, caloric restriction, fasting, one of the easiest things to do is fasting. The other ways that you have to modulate the protein, carbohydrates, fats, calories, that's a little tough because you have to figure out at first what your routine is. Then that takes calculations, and nobody likes logging food. It's a pain in the butt. It'd be great if you have an app that just takes a picture of your plate or your box or your serving and then tallies up fat grams, carbohydrate grams, fiber gram, protein, but there isn't. You have to actually either get your nutritionist, and I can do that sometimes, but it's just too arduous. So I ask folks to start calculating. It's a task that usually nobody wants to do. All of us actually underestimate how much we eat, and then when we start calculating, any website that'll give you what the value is, it'll be like, holy mackerel, I eat a lot. And then that alone is enough to have decrease your volume or your calories per day or your macros. So it is a deal breaker because most people won't do that. Now, the easy way, and which is what I'm doing today, is intermittent fasting was made popular by Jason Fung in the Obesity Code. And Satchin Panda, who does a lot of animal work or microbiome work, also made timed feeding or restricted feeding very popular. As far as data, I think you have to have data to support how it might affect you. But intermittent fasting, you don't have to count anything, just to push your first meal of the day back. Whenever you don't eat on time, because your stomach usually will have a sense of when you're supposed to eat, and then you'll get that growling. That growling is associated with ghrelin, G-H-R-E-L-I-N. That's a hormone that's secreted from the stomach when it's time to eat, and it tells the brain, go hunt. Now, when you're starving and you've missed breakfast, lunch, and dinner because you're doing a lot of work, you can be in the moment of the work because it's so intense that you'll be able to postpone your hunger by overwhelming that ghrelin with cortisol and dopamine. In most cases, when you are doing your usual thing and you just skip a meal, your stomach will tell you. And then your stomach will tell your brain, go push him to go eat something. And if you keep on pushing back and waiting, then your stomach will tell you, go eat something, and the brain will say, I want something sugary now because it's fast and I'm about to die, but you're obviously not gonna die. And that's how the fasting works. But the Easter egg is that ghrelin, it will calm down if you wait. So most people can't just go from eating breakfast at 8 to eating first meal of the day at 12. You have to push back about 45 minutes. If you wait 45 minutes, you should be able to calm down that growling. Technically, if you have blank tea or blank coffee without cream or sugar, anything additives, you will be breaking the official fast, but you will not be turning on insulin. And that's what the problem is for most of us, is insulin resistance, which is the first step into diabetes. I actually call it diabetes anyway. So if you push back about 45 minutes, and then maybe you have green tea or something like that, or even warm water, you might be able to fool the stomach a little bit. Keep yourself busy as well. Do that for a couple of days, and your stomach, your ghrelin, your brain will be more accepting of the fact that we're going to go through intermittent fasting. Sometimes I can do a pulse using the Prolon box or the Volta Longo fasting mimicking diet. I can also do a 1 meal a day thing. Sometimes I'll use help with medicines or herbs that'll help postpone, and I'll talk about that in a different video, postpone your hunger. But if you get used to it, then you know to jump right in. But if this is your first time doing it, I would really be patient with your stomach and your brain. Do it slowly, do it successfully. The objective, I think, the best one is a 16-8, where you're doing 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of feeding. And you'll see very soon that if you take your 24-hour volume and put it into 8 hours, you're not going to want to do that because it's way too much food. And then your stomach will actually get adapted to that 8-hour window and the 8-hour volume that you maintain. And then when you go back into a regular eating cycle, you'll not eat as much. And that's, I think, the problem is we eat too much. There's food all over the place. There's food in the car, there's packaged foods you can put in your pocket, there's gums that act as foods, there's drinks at Starbucks that'll actually be more than a whole meal, more than 2 meals. I saw something the other day that's 850 calories. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you just ate 2 meals. And then you're gonna still eat 3 more meals in your normal day. That's 5 meals in one day. No wonder we're all obese. But we're being fooled by the food industry, so you have to be defending yourself. So hopefully this gives you a couple of ideas about how to introduce intermittent fasting. If you don't know what to do, or if you tried it and it hurts and your doctor's not helping you and you don't have a nutritionist around you, please click the link in the description down below and you'll see how to get a hold of me or become one of my patients. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll see you at the next video.